bought a bus, and I'm currently en route driving it back from Mississippi to Alabama. And it's been one hell of a ride today. So first, we couldn't figure out why there was an alarm that just kept going off on the vehicle, and it turns out that there is a safety lock on the back of the emergency door that is supposed to be unlocked before the car is started, and I'm assuming it's to make sure that kids aren't like locked on the bus or something. So it turns out it was just that simple little lock that you had to unlock it and we could drive it. Then got back to the dealership, the battery would not work. It wouldn't start for some reason. The car had driven just fine, no problems before, no issues. On top of that, once we got a new battery in, we figured out that the catalytic converter had been cut out of the vehicle. So the guy, Rod Burns from Burns Motors LLC, had purposely put my vehicle, and I drove it over there so I saw it myself, into a fenced-in area so that no one would steal the catalytic converter, but still, some Brazilian thief decided to still steal it. Anyway, Rod was kind enough to get all of those problems taken care of before he hit the road, and he fueled up my tank, so that was great. So I'm currently en route back to Alabama. We will see what the rest of today and tomorrow holds in store. Well, I made it back to Alabama, safe and sound. Back to a resting place where hopefully I can keep this this vehicle. So this is the bus. It is a 2007 GMC Savannah 3500 body, well, I guess chassis, with a Thomas built body. And it is a 4-door, I guess that's 20 feet, I believe. But it was a pretty good deal. Got it for $57.50. It runs like brand new, fleet maintained, has only 69,500 miles. And I just drove like 150 of those. So on the list of things to do today, we're going to go over to the tag office and register the vehicle in the state of Alabama because I drove from Mississippi. We are going to remove all the preschool decals and vinyls using a special tool that I'll show you here in a second. We may work on removing the rust, probably installing a radio. Let's see what we can get done. Just walked out of the DMV and I was actually able to register the bus as an RV. I'm outside and I am trying to use this tool here to go ahead and take off the existing vinyl on the hood of the vehicle. That's how it's working so far, but the battery died. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way, just pulling a lot of pieces up, and anything that's difficult to get, I'll go ahead and maybe switch batteries and try this again. Found another battery. So we take this, and you see which way it's rotating? It's rotating this way. We take this, and for example, just put it towards, put it on the decal like this. So I'm aiming for this one right here. And it starts it for you. Well, I missed a little bit, but you can kind of get the picture. And now the hood's done. Finally finished. What a great place to start. There's just something really peaceful about removing this stuff. It's kind of fun. Here is some residue left over from the eraser. Online they said it wouldn't mess up the paint, and it really doesn't. Little marring marks here and there, but for the most part, no damage. This thing may or may not be getting a new paint job all the way around, so might not make much of a difference, but maybe if you decide to build out a van, maybe it'll make a difference to you. Truth be told, a lot of these come off super easy. Like this one, I just did that by hand. And it's almost completely off. There we go. Disco. disco earning. So while I was taking off some lettering, there's a lot of heavy rust here. There's a lot of flaking and, oh, well, hopefully I don't get locked off from that. To clean up the rust, I got this wire brush set. You take the brush and you can already see a lot of that flaky stuff is starting to come off. And that's what we're looking like after I've hit it with this wire brush. Big shout out to Craftsman for sponsoring this video. I'm kidding, they're not really sponsoring this video. If you do start seeing ads for mobile games that you've never heard of, that I probably don't even play, I've sold out and we are sponsored. I'm probably gonna have to come back to this spot here. You can see there's still a lot of like textured rust there. I'm thinking this is good enough to go ahead and spray. So I'm gonna use this rust reformer here. Today, got a lot done. It was very, very busy day. Whew. Removing rust, painting over, and just getting paperwork in order. All the decals have been taken off too. And it's not like that was a little bit of work. That was a lot of work. Thankfully, I was able to register the vehicle as an RV and insurance was okay with that. This is what this side of the bus looks like. And this one has been painted. So all that work today. And that side says disco. Disco Star. Sounds really interesting for the name of a rig. Not like John Travolta, but more like Outlaw Star, like the classic anime series from the people who did Cowboy Bebop. We'll see if it sticks. I mean, that name may change. Nothing is solid yet. On Sunday, probably gonna go ahead and hit this spot, and you can tell there's a lot of rust right there. The roof looks good, not a lot of rust at all. Just like a couple rivets. Today's done. Sunday, the goal is to go ahead and finish that side. Ideally, Monday, maybe painting. While we're doing that, maybe on the inside, we'll go ahead and start ripping seats out. In the meantime, I have a bus. It's registered. I have insurance. And life is busy. Life is hectic. But life is good.